Right, ledgers, can everybody hear me? Hope you all had a good holiday and happy new year. Apologies about the delays, it's been under the weather. Don't know if it's COVID or not, but fuck it. Timing is alright though, at least we got this mess out the way with. Let me know if audio is clear and you should be able to see a Prime XBT website. Okay, let's get the disclaimers out the way with and then we'll get stuck straight in. So welcome back again to the weekly live Bitcoin for Ledgers stream. Normally it's on a Monday obviously, but got delayed a couple of times. Share the video if you can, like it, let's get to 100 viewers. Before we kick off, just want to say thanks to our partners, Prime XBT, they sponsor this. So if you like what you see, use the link in the description and use code TraderSZ, you'll get 25% off trading fees. Give Prime XBT a follow on Twitter at Prime XBT. As always, nothing discussed or featured today constitutes financial advice. As with all areas of investment, you should always seek the advice of an investment professional before parting with your capital. Okay, that's done. Let's go. So what's going on? Yes, TraderXZ. Hi everybody. If I don't see you, hi everybody. There's too many of you here. Okay. So yes. So let's get stuck in straight away. Okay. I'm gonna start with a clean chart for Bitcoin. Add a few levels on, and then map out my trigger plans. Hello Walker, Tom, Greg, knock knock. Hi everybody. Anyways, so I'm going to remind ourselves what are the ranges we're in. Okay, we've discussed this before. So if you've been watching my streams, you'll know exactly how I got these levels. No point repeating them. But these are our ranges. Okay, and I said before, if we clear this area here, clean break and hold above, then we can push towards here. At least the mid towards here first, then there. We didn't get that. We got a deviation, a breakdown, hence the sell-off. The other range is here right now. I would anticipate this to get retested here. Take out this. A lot of people think this is safe. I personally don't. Okay, but I will mark out my trigger plans for it. Doesn't mean I'm going to blindly sell it. I think I've caught majority of this move already. And I'm out. I'm looking to add back in. And then if that goes, then who knows? We could always get this. Okay. And if we look at a bigger picture view, okay, we cannot rule out something like this. We can't rule this out either. So say that's our range high and this is our range low. Why can't we get something like this? I've discussed this possibility before. We can always get that. There's no reason why we can't retest all the way down here either. Okay, this part of the move going lower probably gets triggered, I would say, if we make a clean break below here. And that's me playing it level to level. I don't have to guess if it's going to come down there. I'm happy to offload most near here, which I did. But if it makes a clean breakdown and hold below here, then most likely we're probably going to come towards here. Okay? And then look for that deviation. Wipe out these lows. Then reclaim. And that could be possibly the long in. And we play all the way back up again. We don't have to play all the way back up. We can play it level to level. Level to level. Level to level. Okay? That's the way I play anyway. Anyways, so that's more or less the basic overview. Let's get stuck in now and say, okay, what's capping this downside? We did discuss before in previous streams. So what I've done is draw out the yearly open. So let's look at the yearly chart. Since it's the new year, we look at the yearly chart. And okay, it's just too early in the year, yeah? This could be, if we're bullish, this could just be a wick. Or this could be a consolidation year, who knows? We've got two up candles already. Big wick down. So there's a few levels I want to draw out. One is the midpoint. Last year's high, last year's low, last year's midpoint. So that's where I'll start off from. So we've got the yearly open drawn out. So we're going to do last year's high, last year's low, and the midpoint. We did discuss the midpoint in previous streams. So that midpoint is 48,367. So let me draw that out. 48,367. No guess today. You just got me. We got TraderSZ next week. Then we could bring guests on later on. First stream of the year, I thought, you know what, fuck everybody else. Give myself only. So we got this here. Now if we look at this, I'm also going to mark out what was capping the downside previously. If we remember, it was last year's January high. That's capping the downside. So we're going to draw that out and just keep that as a, remember what that level is. we'll do that in a dashed line. Okay, that is January's high from 2021, and the reason why I'm drawing that is because we capped the downside before, which comes in line with this level here. So more or less with around here, that level there, this January's high comes near enough there, and that capped the downside to the tick nearly. Okay, so what do we do here? So now that we've got that drawn out, you can see that that last year's 1 second. So I got a bit of delay there. Can you hear me? I don't know why my screen's frozen. Is my screen frozen for you guys? No, it's back. Okay, so last year's midpoint. Okay, last year's midpoint is kind of pivotal. Let's look at the price action around that. Okay, there, you know, a bit of a mean area here. Even once it got back below after the stop run, okay, because we were range bound till then. I want to start breaking out from there. It's game over for me, and it was lower down. And from previous streams, if you remember, we had this range drawn out, didn't we? So let me just remind you from previous streams, we had a range low here, okay, a range high here, and this level kept getting tapped multiple times. The more times the level gets tapped, the higher the probability of a breakdown, and then eventually this just nuked. Okay, and you see me post. I started to post about the indices, and they were looking like they were going to break down. And I don't care what you say, they usually are correlated. Okay, if it's range bound, it's different. But ES and NQ were looking weak. This had multiple taps. Dollar was still pushing up, and after, on its own merit, this was bearish for me. After this here, the fact that we couldn't really get back above here. So each time previously, once we bounced, we start to make a move up, don't we, towards range highs. This time we didn't. Okay, it was holding weak, and that was very bearish for me, and we got that nuke. Okay, I wouldn't call that a big nuke. I think there's gonna be one more big nuke gonna happen, something like this. Then I'll be satisfied. Okay, and that's what I want to buy. You don't want to see a slow grind. A slow grind lower usually means efficient selling, and probably go lower than we think. What you want to see is a fast move like this. So like, you know, this or this into a key level, then bounce, and then consolidate, and then go for it. Anyways, having said all of that. So that makes my target short term towards here. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to mark a target area. What if it goes below here? Okay, what could be the objectives? This is obviously a big target for us. Okay, but below here, do we have anything? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this up as well into a midpoint area. I'm going to see, is there a pivotal area here? So if I do this, so if I get 48,367, and then I get the range low of 27,734, and then let's mark out a midpoint and see, has that been pivotal at all? 38,050.5, 38,050.5, and we're going to watch this, and we're going to see, has that been a pivotal area? And as you can see, it kind of has, hasn't it? We look at this, you can see here the touch is there. Once it deviates, gets back below, sells off, deviates, gets back below, sells off. Pivotal area, okay, which is the midpoint of this. Okay, so you can see the ranges this market is moving within. So that would be a key target area, which would also take out this low here. For me personally, I think the big stops are going to be resting here. Reason why is because we are still within this leg. This is the leg we're still within. So if it's going to go high, it makes more sense to me. Take out that, then reclaim, and then we start talking higher prices. If you were to ask me at what point would I be confident the low is in, is reclaim of the early open and reclaim above last year's mid-range. So say if I wasn't to trade within here, and I was to just sit back, relax, do my thing, okay, at any moment, once we do cleanly reclaim back above here, then I think that at that point, and hold above, at that point I think the low is in at least for short term, and we start operating back within this region. But that's a while away. Okay, it's going to be above here for me, in my opinion. Okay, so let's deal with what's happening now, and what do we do? So what's the key SR or key resistance levels for us right now? And I would argue, okay, a key SR level would probably be around here. So if I was to mark this out, okay, I'm just looking for levels within here. There we go. Around this region here. Okay, why there? Support, deviate back above, key congestion there. You can see the reactions there. So it doesn't have to be exact, but close enough. Okay, so I am still sticking to level. I'm being more cautious here. It's one thing catching this move. The majority of the leg has been done now, in my opinion. Approaching the key level anyway. It has to go above, below here for me to say, okay, another trending move. So as you can see in the lower time frame, that more or less, you can see that there. See if I found support there, congestion there. So what I want to see is a stop run deviation play. Let's split this up. Today is the first day post nuke day. So what I tend to do is, what's the SR that's capping the downside to here? So I'm going to break this down to a smaller range right now. So we've got this there, and we've got there. That's capping the downside right now. Let's give that a bit of girth. And what's capping the upside so far, I would argue, Asia low. There was capping the downside. Okay. So what I don't want to see is, if I'm bearish, okay, it doesn't mean I'm going to short it blindly here. But if we reclaim back above here, so if say we consolidate here, then we reclaim and hold, then that puts us back on towards a retest towards here then. Does everybody get that? Because it's then reclaimed that higher time frame level. It's done the consolidation phase, breakout, retest of higher time frame, and then I can say, okay, maybe a push towards there. Does that make sense for everybody? For now, we're still resistance. We're still below. This is the consolidation. I took it below. We've taken out stops right now. If this was a bearish sign, okay, if I'm looking for shorts, okay, I wouldn't feel confident long in here personally. I'm happy to wait as long as it takes. Then what I would do is just do a basic chart pattern, play it level to level within the range, and you know, something as basic as this trigger plan would be enough for me. Oh, for fuck's sakes! I don't know, something like this. However you draw your trend lines. I mean, on some feeds it's easy to see, but this is something like this. Okay, it doesn't really matter how you draw them. It just signifies a breakdown, doesn't it? Is everybody with me so far? Am I making sense? All I've done is I've broken down my ranges. I've given the reasons why I believe lower prices, and this is just a range right now. Just like this is a deviation here. Okay. Go back above, play towards range high. Then what I will look for, however, maybe pushes into here, I don't care, whatever it's gonna do. Once it starts to break down, okay, then that would mean that's a deviation. Where would the stops be resting? Towards the range lows. That would be my trigger. Play level to level, target 1, and then target 2. Okay, if it comes into here and bounces, get out. If it makes a nuke below here, well, we know where we're targeting, don't we? January's high, 42k. After that, we'll see what happens. I don't care what happens. I know my target, I know my trigger, and the rest is up to the market. That's it. The other way of doing it is, okay, say, well, if it does do this and bounces, we'll pay the breakdown play. Well, because it's been consolidated for so long, I would anticipate the breakdown to be quicker. Well, what I can do is, if it bounces, ideally, and then gets back below, it gives us an invalidation to work with. If it gives me the opportunity, there's my trend continuation trigger and play towards that target. The key is knowing where to exit. Don't just flip and hold it. You gotta know where to exit it. Look at my charts. I mean, I've got different range levels drawn out there, but they're kind of precise, aren't they? I mean, if I look at this, I'll show you in a minute. This one here, when I was playing it level to level each time, which was the level 45.51 was key pivot. As soon as that smashed, and I ended up chasing it below here. As soon as that closed, why? Based on the fact that it's been tested multiple times. Probability wise, it's not going to stop there. It's going to go towards here. So I chased it around here, and we got out around there, and I was done. So that's on my chart. I post that to Jim a lot. You just fuck about on Twitter. But if you've been watching it, you'll see. You know what I mean. So that's that there. So that's what I'm looking for. I don't feel confident on the long here, based on the higher time frame context. Based on we are still below this level here. Okay. As soon as we can get back above this level, okay. Just like here, once we, you know. Usually, I mean, if it's going to accumulate for long, it's very, very rarely. If it's a V shape, then usually it's going to get sold off quick. I don't mind a V shape after a big time consolidation. That's different. There's no consolidation here. Okay, so I'd want to see some. Usually, when a bottom is formed, it takes time. Okay, they accumulate for a while and then they'll send it up. For me, it looks like we're not done yet, and it makes more sense to take this out first and then step the fuck in. But yeah, we'll see what happens after that. I have no clue. All I know is where I'm going to get in, where I'm going to get out, and where I'll play the trend continuation plays. And the other side of the coin as well, if we do break below, obviously a secondary targets after this will be, I'll go for these lows here first before here. Okay, so that's just the little range targets. After that, if they do go for another nuke, if you look at the daily time frame, right, I don't think I'll stop there. It makes, personally, to me, it makes more sense to take this out, and then we can talk about bottoming out structures, whether it does something like this and then deviates back above and then go for longs. I don't know. I'll post on my Twitter feed, whatever. But for me personally, I find it's 1 second. Text message. Okay. Yeah. Well, when would I be confident? I mean, if people keep showing fractals, okay, I agree. Fractals have its place. See here, this was a bit different. This structure was a bit different. I had more to work with around here. For me personally, it's, unless I get more to work with, and I'm happy to, if I get more of a range, like I said above here, I can play it towards there, which has the possibility of evolving into something bigger. But for me personally, where would I be confident? It's got to be above here. Once you can reclaim back above here, okay, then I'll feel confident. But till then, I'll play level to level from there towards there. If it reclaims, even level to level from there towards there, and then from there, I'll start getting confident on swings. Till then, I'm happy to wait and keep shorting it till proven otherwise. So that's that there. That's more or less it. Nothing more to add to that. The other play would obviously, yeah, that's it. Everybody clear? So I'd add a tertiary target to this short term as well. These lows here. So if it gives us the trigger, like I mentioned, so let's go back down to the lower time frame. So basically, what I'm looking for is, do I want to short it around this time? I don't know. But breakdown, hold below, maybe one more spike, short, target 1, target 2. If it's really going to go for it, I would love a fast move down. A fast move down would give me more balls to start looking for longs. Till then, nah. And that's about it really. And as you know, the long scenarios would be maybe consolidate here for a while, then break above, hold, then I'll go for the long back towards here, and possibly yearly open. That's it for now. The bigger picture long play would obviously be, like I said, deviate this level, which is more or less that January's high, get back up, accumulate for a while, give me something like this. Once you give me something like this, step the fuck in. Even then, play towards here as target 1, target 2, and that's it. That's just playing a range bound, isn't it? Just like this was a deviation, that would be a deviation. Play back up. Okay, so that's it really. Okay, let's move forward now to Ethereum. Now Ethereum, similar thing. Okay, obviously if Ethereum, I personally think this looks even. This probably giving me clearer targets, which would mean obviously if this is gonna fall, Bitcoin's probably gonna fall as well. It makes more sense if you weren't in this position right now. Pretend you're not in the position. I mean, it makes more sense to retest the consolidation, doesn't it? Okay. I was wrong on the swing long idea. I got taken out of break even on the swing long, but I was able to play a couple of day trades within this range regardless. It makes more sense to come into here and then springboard if it is going to springboard. Personally, it's not something I would want, but sometimes you just got to submit to the market. And you know what? If you can short the market, who gives a fuck? I personally think it makes more sense to do something like this. Wipe these guys out. Why we're still within this leg. It makes more sense to really do this and then accumulate for a while and then full send it. Okay, I mean, again, even with Ethereum, we can't really rule this one out, just like I showed with Bitcoin. The thing is, right, these fuckers can do this in one day. If they can do this in like a day, you think they can't do it again in a day? Of course they can. It's crypto. I mean, people are acting as if they've never seen this before. Happens all the time, doesn't it? If that's our range low, okay. But why can't this be the case? Up, down, up, down. Why can't this be a big range structure? You can do, can't it? You can't rule it out. That's the thing. Never rule it out. Just it's possible. That's why I feel more comfortable level to level trading. Now I said this was a key pivotal area for us. If you remember, at the blue box here, and this was my key, and it worked for a while. It gave me the bounces I wanted. Initially, it worked nice. Worked nice to here, around here, played it up. But each time it came into here, it found resistance. So I had to always take something off. Came back down. So that sort of kept me in. And then finally, so many taps of it with Bitcoin being Bitcoin. This is not going to hold up if Bitcoin's going to drop. Yeah, there's a few alts that are holding up well. But majority of the alts are getting fucked as we speak. Okay, yes, there are certain alts like Atom and stuff doing well, but you know, I go with what Bitcoin is giving me in general. And I discussed this previously, why this is a pivotal area. So here, once it go back below that, big sell off. Once it deviated, go back below it, sell off. Once it reclaimed it, this is back below that now, and it's suggesting to me lower prices, at least towards here, here, and then here. I've got this level marked at the 29.69, and that is a quarterly level. I think we take out the quarterly low personally. If I was to look at a quarterly chart, yeah, I think they take out this quarterly low here. So if I look at this, when was the last time they took out quarterly low? It's been a while. They take out that quarterly highs. I think they take out this low. So we're probably within this quarterly range. From I'm going to take that high, and maybe if we could deviate back below here and get back above, because that's a big support, isn't it? That led to a big bounce. So I think it makes more sense to take that out. I always go for more conservative targets. One thing I learned in crypto, right, is sometimes they leave the clean lows in that I'm used to, and effects they take out. They don't take them out in crypto. So I always go for more conservative. So that quarterly low comes in the 29.69. So what I'm going to just do is aim for here and the top of the blue box. Anything else is extended targets. If it gives me, it gives me. If not, we'll have taken most of my profits. My stops are break even. So no, I'm just under the weather. That's all. So let's look at this now. So what we've got is I look at the consolidations or supply areas that I look for around key SR levels. And if I look back at this, where did I get these levels from? That's important as well. So I'm not going to repeat what I did, but draw them again, sorry, but I'm going to explain where I got them. So what I've got is this quarterly high here, okay? And that's that level. I've got the yearly open marked out, and it's the monthly highs and lows I'm looking at for the reactions. So the monthly highs and lows, this level we're at now is a monthly level. So see that there? We broke it, we closed back below it, then we closed above it, found some support there. So that's a monthly level. I've just extended that to the left. That's a monthly level there I'm looking at. And the next monthly low is that quarterly. That's a quarterly level there. So I'm just dealing within here now. Okay, I've identified where I want to trade within. So we need it to stay below this. Otherwise, it opens the gates towards here and possibly back towards here. So this is, so if I look at it from this perspective, I know it's getting messy, but this is one range I'm looking at. Proven itself, hasn't it? There. And this is the second range I'm looking at. Okay, so going down to the lower time frame, that's why I had to delay my streams. It's under the weather. I know it probably is COVID. Fuck knows, I haven't been tested. There's no point getting tested now. Fuck it. The daily, so it's there right now. So that's why I want to see. So previously the deviation here before. Once you go back above, then obviously that was the trigger, the longs. Now, context suggests at least retest this for me. There's nothing reclaimed just yet. And again, I don't get a trigger without I don't take the trade without a trigger anyway. If I was to take this trade, okay, aggressively, well, I know a clean reclaim both of them wrong. So if I was to be aggressive, I'd probably take it here. I know what I'm targeting, and if it was to make it, probably keep a hard stop there. But if it was to reclaim and hold, I'd probably look to cut it or scale out. That's being aggressive. If I want to be more conservative, I'd rather look for a confluence between, well, if this deviates at the same time as Bitcoin deviates, then that's even better, isn't it? So let's look at this. Let's look at the leg. We've got the leg here, a spike high, the spike low. And this is more or less around the mid-range. We can see the mid-range is kind of a support area, isn't it? Okay. Is this a deviation above the mid-range? So if this gives me something like this, oopsie daisy, there, and I don't care what he does here, maybe retest this one more time, that's fine as well. Get me that breakdown, and then if Bitcoin does the same thing, then I've got my short trigger. Okay, if I'm going to play level to level, I'll probably take some off here, but ultimately I'm aiming for here and the blue box I've mentioned. Okay, so let's show that. So let me just draw that out so I can save it so I don't lose it. So let's draw that out. Nice breakdown. The reason why it just shows an easier way of showing a breakdown, that's all. Okay, so let it do its thing, whatever it's gonna do. And once it can break down, okay, then I've got my trigger. I cut and a clean break back above that. Short term here, target, target, and then I'd like to see a big fast move into there, and that's how I would play it. Does that make sense? Yeah, let's get us to 200 likes, get the YouTube algo going. Is everybody clear with the plan? Does that make sense to everybody? 143, yes. Are there any questions on this? Get him a good Jewish doctor. Yes, he's a snatch fan. We've got a snatch fan here. I like this. And that's it really. If I want to take an intraday range as well, I sometimes look at intraday range. So if I take this is a high of the day, and this is low of the day. Yes, but right at the midpoint of the day is acting as support. So if it is gonna nuke, it's gonna be from here now, in my opinion. Maybe take a high of the day. Otherwise, I may actually have to start planning on longs. I don't know. I don't have no clear trigger for longs. Okay, this could just be, just going to consolidation mode really. Okay, but higher time frame does suggest to me lower prices, and we've tagged this level. Watch this level here. So for those asking me about my range level, watch this level here. This is my pinpoint level. This is I'm not gonna go over how I get these levels, but this level. Watch this level here. If I'm correct, this should be the top. We shouldn't really go back above here. We should do something like this. Let's see. Anyways, we're still gonna wait for the confirmation regardless. But yeah, is everybody clear with the plan? Are there any questions? When is Melanie coming? I don't know. Soon. Well, I don't know. I've got loads of guests lined up. We'll plan something near future. Okay. Are there any questions? Can you talk dollar? You know what? Dollar index. Okay, let's talk dollar index. Since I'm here on my own, no guests. Let's talk dollar index. Dollar index. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for dollar index. I'm open. I played the bull run on the dollar index quite well last year. I caught majority of this move. While everybody was bearish, everybody got bullish in the last leg here. We were going for longs here, if you remember. And this was our target. Now is the question. I'm in two minds right now. I don't know. It does look to me it's probably going to push higher a bit. And people are saying economy shit. Economy is still alright. They're still growing. I don't care. Twitter's, especially CT economics. And I don't know where the fuck they get their FA from. But you want to be looking at the bond market and stuff like that. This is why traditional market guys are looking at CT. Where the fuck are you guys learning your economics from? It's fucking hell, man. I look at the bond market a lot. You don't see me speak about it, but I look at it a lot. That's why with FX I nail the FX move so well sometimes. To blow my own trumpet, but yeah. I am still mainly FX trader. I just don't talk about it as much, and it's a bit slow. I do prefer crypto just because of the volatility. But yeah, they tell you a lot of what's gonna happen. But I personally, so there's two ways. I don't know. This sort of structure is not a topping structure for me. What would be a topping structure for me would probably be something like this, and then slam back down. Okay, if it was to slam back down like this, then I would say okay, maybe towards here and then lower, and that would be like a trend line break as well for me, major trend line break, and then I'll say okay, that's the top end. As it stands, I think we could probably squeeze towards here, and then we'll see what happens here. Do they intervene? There's talks, obviously, the Fed is hawkish, rate cuts, stuff like that. I don't know. Again, when I'm day trading, this is for more macro views. When it gets to a macro level, then I look at the FA, what's going on, and stuff like that. Then I can make my decision. Okay. I don't know. It's too early in the year. To say that just yet. Hello CG, hello TraderSZ, Doc Puya. It's too early in the year yet. I usually let a couple of weeks of January fall. One thing I am bullish on, and I'm going to go over it anyway, darling. Since Prime XBT, we can trade FX as well. They tell me a lot about that, but I think it's very bullish. The yen pairs, you know what to do. Check out the yen pairs now. Even if you don't trade it, it's one of those with Prime, right? You can trade. You can settle in like USDT and Bitcoin. You can trade this on the side. Swing plays. I'll go on to dollar yen in a minute. But yeah, I'm unsure. I think the way it's looking at maybe one more high in towards here, or maybe a swing failure of that high, and then we'll see. I don't know. I can't say for sure. It's still within this leg, so we can either drop from here or we can nuke from here. Both are bearish scenarios, but how high does it go? For me, I don't try picking the top. I let the top happen, and if the top happens, then I step in. I don't care about missing out on this part of the leg. I'm catching this part of the leg. So here, a lot of this I missed, but I catch this part. You know what I mean? So I let it do his thing, and then I step the fuck in. Okay. Yes. Pornhub coin. What was that? I don't know. I've never heard of Pornhub coin. What are you asking me about that for? Okay. Dial in quickly, and then I'll do 1 or 2 alts. Okay. But is everybody clear my Bitcoin Ethereum plans? So look at FX, right? Dollar yen. Look at this. I was very bullish. I was bullish this pair down here. Last year January. All the yen pairs. Yes, look at that. I mean, just look at this for example's sake. It doesn't get clearer than that. Always look at the yearly charts. Yearly charts are very telling. The reason why I'm excited about the yen pairs is if you've been trading FX long enough, you know what the yen pairs do. When they fuckers move, they don't step back. It's like an altcoin then. It's like altcoins. You just step back. And with FX, I feel more comfortable doing size in FX than I do with crypto. But yeah, this leg up, this could do another. Look at that yearly close. 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, how many is a consolidation? I'll include that as a consolidation year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. 6 fucking years, yeah. Broken out. You ain't gonna get bullish than this. Look at all the yen pairs, they're all showing the same thing. So I think yen does its own thing. You know what I mean? And I think we take out towards here, at least towards there. But yeah, that's neither here or there. I just wanted to put that out there. I'm very bullish. Italian. Is Solana toast? Go check out TraderSZ feed. I mean, this guy seems to think it's lower. So fuck it. Yes. Let's do. Go on. Let's name some alts. Sushi. Okay, Sushi. Sushi. There's a decent exit. And Sushi. I took out most my position, and I gave an example of. I gave the reasons as to why. Okay, so let's do Sushi. Let's do a top down on Sushi. How I would go about it. Mark out the yearly open. Okay, I mean, I'm not comfortable longing. I know some pairs are showing strength, and I know they're moving against Bitcoin, but I'm not going to take that risk. I don't care. What's one move to me? I don't give a fuck. I'm looking at the overall market, what I feel comfortable in. Yes, that pair may do well, but so the fuck what? Yearly open. I play the easy plays. Or would I go for the cherry pick plays? That's it. It can be. I don't half the stuff. I don't even know what the fuck they do. Okay, I'm just playing my levels, and that's it. Oh, let's look at this. Let's go. Look at that level. Look at that level there. Yeah, see that there? Watch. Hopefully that holds, and hopefully nukes from here. Live on stream nuke. But anyways, okay, quarterly. What's going on here? So what's capping the downside? We've got this. Capping the downside. Okay. Starting point. Go to the monthly. Okay, it's a bit choppy. Range band behavior. You know, there's going to be an expansion candle happening soon. Above the yearly open, very bullish. Above the yearly open, very bullish. Go to the daily now. And let's mark out our range. And this was what I was looking at before. If you recall, I had my range low here. Okay. And we spoke about this in one of the last stream, didn't we? My range low there. Okay. Around about here anyway. My range high here. And we had a midpoint as well. Midpoint was around here. Around this yearly open, wasn't it? Around us eyeballing it, because we can't argue there. And then I said, okay, we've got this basic trend line. That's why I like trend lines. They go for targets, aren't they? There. Towards there. And I said a clean break above here. And I said I'm taking profit here. Go back to my Twitter feed. I said I'm taking profit here. Only if it makes a clean reclaim. That's not a clean reclaim. That's a deviation. Hold above. Break above the trend line. And then I'll step the fuck in. And then the lower time frame I saw level was here. Okay, there. That capped the upside. Above that, okay, I step in. But why would I want to hold this there? And it's just nuked from here. Okay? Yeah, link near FTM atom. Any more you want me to go through? So there. So, what am I looking for? Well, play back towards range lows. Isn't it? Ideally, if Bitcoin shows me a low. But okay. So what I'll be looking for is... ideally, what I'd like to see is... So what's cap? So what I'm going to do is look at what's capping the upside here. Probably around here. So if I get something like this, okay. So ideally here, what I would like to see is maybe nuke it once more. Consolidate. Deviate back above. That's my long. Level to level, target 1. That's more or less the midpoint within this range, right? And then target 2, back towards the yearly open. If it shows weakness, I'm out. Then wait for the clearance of this level, bring back this level here again. Okay, let's cap in the downside, give that a bit of girth. Okay, save this chart as well. This is a deviation area before, it's the break of the trend line. Okay, reclaim that, then I step back in or add back in and play it towards there. Is that clear? Otherwise, if it's somewhere around here, I'll have to see what price gives me. I need more price action to work with around here. I understand. I do accept that this is a key SR region here. What I would like to, I mean, I'm not comfortable here. I'm not comfortable here. With Bitcoin looking weak, I'm not comfortable here. But say if Bitcoin finds a bottom and it reclaims the level I showed, there may be a bit of a range built up. Nuke it, reclaim. And even then I'll have to play level to level, to be honest with you. Target 1 and then target 2. Clear? Okay. Nia. Okay, let's do Nia. Nia USDT. Very strong this is, isn't it? Trader ISO calls. I was asking for too much, I think. I wanted to pull back. Yeah, I've got a bit. I had a small spot position, nothing big. So nothing I'm happy about. Okay. But yeah, it is very strong. I don't care if I miss him in these lows. I miss more than I did get. But you're not going to get all of them. We got a range high there. Okay. We got a range low. Ideally, what I was looking for, when it was down here, I thought maybe spike this low. Okay. And then it's too tough. But this son of a bitch is in his own world. It's too strong. So, again, it could still happen. It could still happen. So, let's mark our targets. So, we got that high there. We take it towards that low. And I think about 20. 20.3. Call it $20 target next. Around there. Okay. So that'd be our objective for price. Done. So what I would like to see is, I mean, we got a nice little bit of confluence here as well. If it came down towards here, if it did, okay, if it did that, I would love something like this and reclaim. I'm not going to chase it here unless you got some intraday strategy. I'm not going to go for intraday stuff here. There are obviously intraday ways of getting on board. I'm going for the easy plays that everybody can see and everybody can go for, you know. And then that's a decent long. Probably play it here towards first target and then secondary targets there. Target, target. And that's the trigger. And then we'll see after that. Yep, that's about it really for Nia. Make sense? No idea what ICP is. Okay, that's about it really. Okay, is everybody clear with the plan? What do I think with PYR? Yes, see, if you follow my feed, I mentioned many targets for PYR along the way. So if you didn't take profits along the way when I called it 3, that's on you. Has the FA changed for me? No, I think all these coins do drops like this. Okay, I mean, look at all these big major coins. They've done over 50, 60, 70% drops. Nothing new. Couldn't give a shit. I'll play it again. I did take profits along the way, obviously. So what we're going to be looking for is probably around about around here. Okay. Now, what would reclaim for me? I mean, what I would like to see is some big accumulation happen. Okay. Get rid of this. Too much shit on this chart. Big time accumulation. So what I want to do is, let's go back. This is how I usually do my charts. Go to the monthly. Okay. Try a month. No, don't want the yearly. Let me just see where the midpoint comes in for the yearly. Okay. And that comes in around. Okay. Yeah, so no, fuck that. That's no use to me. Okay. But what I would like to see is, okay, we're filling in all of this now. So what I would like to see is some big time accumulation. Okay. And then breakout below key level, retested that, and then we'll start heading back up again, in my opinion. First target, oopsie daisy. I'd wait for now personally. First target towards here, and then towards there. Now by that point, if whatever the low is, what I tend to do is I'll take the extreme high and say, I don't know, that's the low. I don't know wherever the low is. Okay, say that's the low. Midpoint is usually a big magnet for price, and just so happens if that is the low, then we've got this area here as a decent objective. and then I'll go for the 75% level, which is around here, and then there. So just full U-turn back up again. So we'll see what happens. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. If it doesn't, it may trigger. Fuck it, move on. Next project. There's loads. I still like this project. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I make my own opinion. I don't listen to opinions of others unless I know them. So that's that there. That's about it. Let's move forward now to Zava. Like all these coins, they're all taking a big dump on there. Zava's still good. I mean, I just like the allocations I get from them. I mean, I got in sub 1, so I made a lot of money on this one. Zava again, same thing with all these coins. They're all making big drops. But again, you gotta remember, they all do this. It's nothing new. I don't know why people are accumulating. Look at coins like Solana, AVAX, for God's sake. Hang on, let's have a look at AVAX. What the hell did that do? Look at AVAX for a second. Right, AVAX. Right, where did that go to? AVAX went all the way to 60, dropped all the way to $10. Right, dropped all the way to $10, then went all the way to 146. So these are cycles that all markets go through, but you make out as if it's just one. Okay, although most of them go through this. Yes, there'll be exceptions. Okay, there always are. But if a coin like AVAX, which is solid, nobody can disagree with that, is able to do something like that and then that, so I don't give a fuck. It's crypto. As fast as it goes up, they can go down. Why black? Sometimes when it's night time, I go to black. I don't know, it just varies whatever I'm in the mood for. Okay, with the Zava, what can I say with Zava? I mean, I haven't really done a breakdown for this. A lot of these coins I'm waiting for 1 or 2 weeks to unfold, get a yearly range out the way with, and then I want to step in. That's the only reason. So I haven't really marked up much levels for this. What I can say is, again, timing with the rest of the market. I don't know, you know. I mean, it's too many levels here. What I would say is something like this. Hang on, let me get rid of these levels here. There, that's better. Okay, that's a bit clearer to me now. So what we've got here is a range here, low. Okay, we've got a bit of a high there. So what I would do is, one is, I mean, if it was to, I mean, this is a previous range low, right? One is, if it was to drop towards here and then get back above, I'd probably long that again. I'll play towards here, target 1. Maybe find resistance here, and once it reclaims that, I think we're well on our way to new highs again. And this is long term, this is solid for me. Okay, another way is, I'm not really confident buying here, but what I will do is let it accumulate here, and then once it can reclaim back above, because this was a key pivotal area, wasn't it, before? Once it bounced here, pushed up. There's key buying happened here previously, so if you can reclaim back above that and hold in validation, I'll go for new highs. Not only that, if I want to extended targets, that high to that low, around the 25.9 area. I still think long term this is solid, but yeah, you do your own research behind it. I mean, I made loads from these. You get the staking allocations. So yeah, that's that done. Next up, what coin? Atom. You can do Atom. Yeah, that's really solid, isn't it? Atom. It's about Atom. They all take their turns, doesn't it? They all show the same pattern. I mean, if I was to do this right, if I looked at like AVAX, something like AVAX, Luna did the same thing as well, didn't it? We'll do Luna after this. They all do the nearly exact same patterns I've noticed. So I mean, it's similar anyway. So with this one, right? Fuck off. We get this sort of moving. Let me make this white. We get this sort of move in here. And we get the retest of that consolidation, and then pushing up, and then we get the breakout, then the retest. That's when I stepped in, play up there. So here we're getting the same thing, aren't we? So we can break out. Anyway, I'm just pointing that out. Anyway, that's not here or there. I've just noticed similar patterns. So what do we do for this? Well, start off simple. Mark out my range high. Mark out range low for this, which lines up more or less around here. Okay, oopsie daisy. There. So it's at resistance right now. Ideal scenario would be is if Bitcoin could shoot the bed, this shoots the bed as well. That would be the ideal, only because I want to load up big on this. Yes, selfish reasons. Who gives a fuck? So if it could do something like that and then start breaking down, I'll wait for a pullback towards here. Okay, so if it ever did a move towards here, okay, and then reclaimed, I'll step in there, play towards long there. I'm not gonna step in right at resistance, suicide. Okay, the other play would be the breakout play. So if it's gonna be a breakout play, I gotta mark my targets first. Where could it go? So I'll take the range high, the leg high to leg low, mark out my targets. So we got that there, we got that there, we got that there. Okay, so what I want to see then is, you want to see a poke above them, DUA back below. Okay, and then hold, and then that's when I step in. And by then, if Bitcoin hasn't fucked things up by then, who knows? Bitcoin could be bullish by then. But yeah, so I want to see some consolidation above here. If you see a fast move up back down again, that's usually not bullish. That's usually okay, stop, run done, and it's gonna push back lower. But yeah, I'll be waiting for that. Clear? Okay, I've done Sushi already. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. Okay, I'll catch you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoy the plan. Take care. Bye bye.